Safely, and we will be getting some advice from the locals around here as we head tomorrow to Badwaters, the lowest elevation, arguably the hottest location, definitely here in the U.S. and definitely one of the hottest locations in the world. Sharon.
Okay, Jill Brown, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you again in about an hour. Meantime, let's talk about more hot weather out west. It's hot throughout much of the west, and Paul's going to tell you whether or not that will continue for the early part of your weekend. Paul?
Hi, I'm Jill Brown. Join me for Brutal Climate, live in Death Valley, and we'll take you to the hottest location in the nation.
This is WeatherScope.
Sharon Resultan with more.
Well, Death Valley, nestled in the eastern portion of California, is one of the hottest places on Earth. Temperatures in the summer average about 120 degrees. Already this week, the mercury rose to 116. In our special coverage, Brutal Climate, Weather Channel meteorologist Jill Brown takes a closer look at this national park. She joins us now live from Death Valley. Hi, Jill. How are things going there in Death Valley? A little warm, huh?
A little warm today, Sharon. It got up to 113 officially. Now with our thermometer that we have here, we can see it's starting to cool off, and the desert night, I'm sure, is going to be a much nicer atmosphere than this afternoon. It's now 104 degrees, and believe it or not, it doesn't feel too bad out here. There is a little bit of a breeze, and as you might expect, in this kind of climate, you don't see a whole lot of vegetation. If you look behind me, you do see a lot of mountains. It's actually some gorgeous scenery down through here. This is the funeral range behind me. Some great Halloween names through here. Death Valley, the funeral range. We have seen tumbleweeds and some cactus and even a road runner today. And they're actually saying the humidity's up a little bit, so it's a tad uncomfortable today. But these temperatures are not too bad for the locals. They say get it up to 116 or 120. And then even they like to try and stay inside. But today, no big deal. Joining me now is Roger Brandt. He is a park ranger here at Death Valley. And I wanted to ask you, this heat is brutal for people who come and visit. Do you get a lot of people coming in with heat exhaustion or heat stroke?
In the years previous to this, I think there was more instances where people were coming into the visitor center a little bit overexposed to the heat, but it doesn't seem to be as much of a problem as it was in the past, probably because people are getting a little better educated about travel in the desert.
And tomorrow we are going down to the lowest elevation, Badwater, where it's going to be hotter than it is here. What advice do you have for us as we spend the day in the hottest location in the nation?
Well, one of the best things you can do is take plenty of water with you, and I'd take a couple of gallons if you're going to spend the day down there, because you'll be surprisingly dry. And another good thing that people don't know about is wearing a hat every time you go into the desert. Keep the sun off your face. Even a pair of dark glasses are real helpful. And I think it's kind of important to keep in mind that the temperatures are a little lower here because of the plants that grow around the Furnace Creek area. It's going to be a little bit warmer, and I know you're not really wanting to hear how much warmer it's going to be, but it'll probably be 5 or 6 degrees warmer.
Okay, well, I guess we'll be prepared. I have my hat in the car. Thank you very much. We will be going down to Badwaters tomorrow, probably hotter than what we've experienced here today, and they're advising us to take 2 gallons of water per person, plenty of suntan lotion, and large hat and sunglasses. So Sharon will be joining you tomorrow from 282 feet below sea level.
Wow. Jill, thanks a lot. Roger Brandt, the park ranger, gave some great advice, not just for folks in Death Valley, but as we approach the hot summer months, what folks should do when they head outdoors as well. We're going to toss it back to the studio. Terri Smith is standing by, and she is going to tell you what you can expect for the first portion of your weekend.
Okay, Sharon.